Hey everybody, this is Rev Dr Shelly from Rev Dr Shelly Says. I want to take a moment to talk about one of the things that's going on in our communities right now with Mississippi and North Carolina and Georgia, as far as the religious freedom laws, which is basically a way to discriminate against people who are gay and lesbian from the LGBT. This discussion should be long over. This is a ridiculous, I can't believe here it is 2016 and we are still having this kind of issues. Because it's an insult. It's an absolute insult to anybody who actually knows and believes themselves to be either a follower of God or B, a Christian. And I've come to actually not like that term because people use it as a shield instead of as what it's supposed to be. The word Christian is supposed to be Christ-like. I choose to try to live my life like Christ did, as in Jesus Christ. And people now use it as a weapon. They use it as an excuse. They use it as a way to discriminate. And that is the most ridiculous thing. I keep envisioning Jesus showing up and slapping a few people saying, "Don't you dare do that in my name." That's bullshit. Sorry, excuse my language, but it is. It's ridiculous. So to have these laws and that they're actually getting passed, that people are going to be allowed to discriminate based on religious views, that's the whole purpose of separation of church and state. Here's the thing. If you believe yourself to be a Christian or you believe and you read the Bible, then I'm going to assume that you also believe God gave us 10 basic commandments to follow, right? So it's things like, honor your mom and dad, and keep holy the Sabbath, don't take God's name in vain, don't steal, don't go sleep with your neighbor's wife. It's pretty basic 10 things. Nowhere in that 10 things did God say, don't be gay. And by the way, I don't know, God makes gay people, makes straight people, gay people, bi people. If you believe in creation, then God makes us all. But God didn't say anywhere in the 10 Commandments, don't be gay. And God is, if you believe God to be the way God is represented, is omnipotent, which means God knows everything that ever was, ever is, and ever will be. So it's not like God didn't think ahead and go, maybe I should tell people. And if he did, let's assume he did. Let's assume God really doesn't like gay people, which of course is ridiculous because he makes them. Let's assume that God forgot. I told him not to steal and I told him to, respect their neighbor's stuff, but I forgot to tell him not to be gay. So God sends his son, Jesus. Hey, go down there and spread the message. You'd think he'd say, Jesus, I forgot to tell people not to be gay. Can you please let them know not to be gay? Jesus didn't say that. In fact, nowhere in the Bible does God or Jesus say anything about homosexuality. Jesus, in fact, said, love one another. Thou shalt not judge. Love one another as I have loved you. So to take something like what Jesus himself said, Jesus Christ, thus the Christian part of Christianity, and to say that and use it, that God hates gay people, God hates fags, is ridiculous. It's an insult to the very God that you say you're defending. The word sin, a lot of people say, well, it's a sin. Being gay is a sin. The word sin comes from a Hebrew word that was used in archery, bows and arrows, which means to miss the mark. That's what sin meant in Hebrew, is to miss the mark. But when people start quoting the Bible, well, this is a sin and that's a sin, and one of the things that they quote the most is Leviticus. Man shall not lie with man as he would woman, and it's an abomination. If you know anything about Leviticus, as far as I'm concerned, was a paranoid schizophrenic. He was afraid of everything. Everything was an abomination. Don't be gay. Don't sleep with men because you'll be an abomination. Don't wear clothes of different fibers. It's an abomination. Don't plant 2 different crops in the same field. It's an abomination. Don't go to the all-you-can-eat crab on Saturday because that's an abomination. He was afraid of everything. So I'm not sure why we put a lot of stock in what he has to say, because most of the other things we figured out, that's kind of a little radical. But we hang on to that one thing. Oh, no, but the gay thing he was right about. Because the homosexuality is mentioned, I believe, 6 times in the Bible. Never by God and never by Jesus. And to me, that's really the only 2 voices that count, because everybody else was human. And if you're human, you have faults, and you're fallible, and you can learn and change with the times like most of us have, where when we do look at something from the Bible that says, don't plant 2 crops in the same field, we know that no longer makes sense, and of course we have crops everywhere. So we're able to disseminate and actually make rational decisions about everything else. But we get to this one, no, God hates fags, and that horrible, awful thing that gets spread around there, or I'm not going to serve you and make you a cake because you're gay. Really? Of all the problems we have in the world, we've got terrorists who are chopping people's heads up, but you don't want to make a gay cake. Make a gay cake. Put a nice rainbow spread on it. Make a gay cake. Make your money. Make some people happy. We're supposed to be there to help one another. That's what Christianity is. That whole love one another thing, that's what he meant. When Jesus loved one another, it means, hey, love me as I have loved you. I love you all. Jesus didn't come down and say, I love this group and this group, but I certainly don't love that group because they're not like me. Jesus said nothing like that. So it is an affront, as far as I'm concerned, to anything Jesus said, to his whole world message, and the fact that he gave his life for the future of humanity, to then say, well, what he meant was this, or that God hates. Jesus would go down and condemn gay people. That's a very affront to the nature of anybody who understands what Christianity is supposed to be. So stop it. Stop doing that. If you want to call yourself a Christian, then try to live a Christian life. Try to do the values that Jesus taught us to do. Love one another. Accept one another. I'm not even going to say tolerate, because tolerate means put up with. Accept one another. We are all here doing the best we can with what we've got. When you know better, do better, as Maya Angelou said. In the meantime, do the very best you can not to hurt people along the way. Welcome people. Embrace one another. With all the chaos going on in the world, the only thing that's going to save us is embracing one another. When 9/11 happened, the one thing that amazed me was that everybody came together, no matter what your skin color was or your orientation or your, where you were from. Everybody came together to help. And it shouldn't take a disaster like that. It should take simply the fact that we're fellow human beings and we're supposed to love one another. It's not our job to judge each other. You can say, I don't like this behavior, but that doesn't mean you judge that person. That's not our job to do. Our job is to do the best we can with what we've got, to try to make the world a better place, and to love one another. So stop doing that. And in the new states like Tennessee and all that are passing that, you better think twice, because people who are smart and kind and believe in unity and equality for all are going to start pulling their businesses out the way they should. Because nobody wants to support hatred and judgmentalism, and nobody wants to support belittling one another, except other small-minded people and other judgmental people. And those, we don't have time for that anymore. This is Rev Dr Shelly, and somebody call Ellen DeGeneres, because I got more shit to say. In the meantime, please, be kind, and choose love, and watch what happens to your life. See you next time.